What is good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Trey, and I'm gonna break down a few trades I took from the AM session today. I actually ended up losing about 423 on the funded account, so my balance is at 347. That's a big drop. So let's break down the trades, and then I could talk about what I learned from a day like this. So going into today, I did see that we did have this huge gap here. Price did rebalance some of that gap on NQ. On ES, we completely rebalanced that gap. So I'm not gonna lie, today was just a little hard, and I'm okay with saying that today was just a little hard. We were below the midnight opening price. I did expect price to try to come back and maybe reach for like the buy side here, and maybe this buy side here to completely fill in this inefficiency here. We were also below the midnight opening price. Um, if you look on the 4 hour and the daily, we're kind of inside that daily inversion fair value gap. So coming into today, right? This is what I seen. I'm a little sick, I think. So my bad if I sound like a little sluggish or whatever. But coming in on today, we had this 15-minute bearish fair value gap here. If we look at the range we're in, we're kind of trading like in a discount, but we did come to equilibrium with this wick at 9:30. So what I seen was, all right, we had an S&T at the lows here. Let me show you really quick. We had an S&T at the lows. Matter of fact, that was my second trade idea, I believe. My first trade idea, I seen that I don't even know why I tried to buy this now that I think about it. This was kind of like, well, I'm not gonna say it was a bad setup, but um oh well, yeah, I tried to buy from this here. So I guess that wasn't that bad. Let me see. Oh yeah, I was looking at this breaker here. We'll make that like dark gray or something like that. This becomes a breaker, high, low, higher high. We did get a reaction out of it. We definitely did get a reaction out of it. So what I seen was, okay, we traded inside this breaker here. We had to change in the state of delivery here at 9:31, and then I went long here at these candles right there. I went long about there. I would have took the entry here, or even I was trying to get it here, but for some reason on top step this wasn't popping up. I couldn't see it, so I ended up missing out on that entry. As you can see, I still would have got it wrong anyway. So after I took the entry here, seeing price come back to hit my stop loss, I did see the change in state of delivery there, and I just wasn't. I just didn't catch the entry. I did see this here. I just wasn't too confident in taking that trade short since we were already in a discount based on the dealing range. Like I said, you could still be like I said in my last video, you could still buy in a discount, and I mean sell in a discount and buy in a premium if you want to, based on your the drawn liquidity and your experience and shit like that. But um, as you can see, I'll go back to this. As you can see, price delivered lower. This was the last run we had lower, and that is what created that SMT on with ES. As you can see here, this created an SMT. Let me show you on ES. As you can see here, bam, bam. So we took out this low here. This was the London low, I believe, and we began to trade higher. We had a few. Let me go back to my top step. We had this inversion fair value gap here. We had two of them as well, so I just put them together. And once I seen price trade above these consecutive down close candles, and we were below the midnight opening price, I took the long here. I took it about there, and I put my stop loss below the inversion fair value gap low, and price just came down and literally just targeted my stop loss. That's the algorithm. That's the signature that there is an algorithm in price action, in my opinion. I know I can't be the only one who took a trade like this and put their stop loss here. So there probably was a lot of orders resting right there, and price just came down to hunt that and take that out. So then what I seen was that price traded higher from this inversion fair value gap. We had another change in the step delivery here. I was gonna take this long here and target maybe like the equal highs here, but as you can see, it would have never got there anyway. But I didn't take this entry here. What I did was I waited for price to break above these consecutive down close candles, and then I went long around here. I put my stop loss here at this inversion fair value gap, right? And then price just kept consolidating back and forth here around this area. I actually did end up. This is the mistake I made, and I don't know why I did this. This is not something I would normally do. So I got to correct myself over the weekend. Don't want to be feeding into bad habits, because what I did is kind of like something you don't want to be doing. That's kind of like a bad habit. So I don't want to continue to like do that. I think it's okay. So what I did was I took the long here, and I'm looking at price action, and then price with this candle at 1036, price had a closure below, and I considered that a change in the step delivery. And we also had an S&T at the highs on ES. So if I can show you ES real quick here. So we had this here, right? This was that candle at 1036. We had that S&T at the highs there, right? All right, we had that S&T there, right? Let me get rid of that. Right, so once I seen that happen, and I already had took these two losses, and I most likely shouldn't even have taken this trade. I got to be way more selective on my trades and stuff like that. But once I seen that, I'm like, okay, price most likely wants to go short there. We didn't take out these lows here, right? We didn't take out these lows here. To me, this just looks like a bunch of resting liquidity at the time. This is my thought process, you know. We also have these here, so price maybe wants to hunt those instead. So I ended up taking a quick short there. I think I used like one contract or something like that, and then as you can see, price just went in the opposite direction of my entry. So I am down like 347. So we're still good. We're still in profit. Just got to correct a few things based on my psychology and perception on how I view the market, I would say. But I was just trying to be extra careful this morning, because if you look at the range we're in, we're still in the discount. If I take it from this swing high, right? This swing high to this swing low. Let me get rid of this current dealing range. So the current dealing range we're in exactly right now. This swing high, I'll even drop down to a 5-minute and make it look a little bit better. But we have this current dealing range. I'm not talking about that high or this low. I'm talking about the current dealing range. This high here to this low. As you can see, we were in a premium. So when price did this move, this was a good short entry there. Like I said, I was fixated on the longs. And then when I did see the change in the step delivery here, if I was going to take this entry, I was expecting price to come back into this. Price did not come back into it, so I just let it go. And I had another re-entry right here. I could have targeted, put my stop loss above the breakaway gaps high. This is a small little tiny fair value gap right there, I believe. Not really, is it? Or was that an intermediate rebalance? No, not really. So it may have been like a small little tiny gap there. My stop loss was there at the time. I mean, it would have been there at the time. So if I would have took the short here, my stop loss would have been there, and I would have targeted the London low. And that was really about it, man. That was really about it. Like I said, on a day like this, I could be a little bit more, just a little bit more selective. I feel like I was patient enough. I was patient. Could have been a little bit more patient. Taking an entry at like 937, it's okay, but just gotta, I would say I gotta just be a little bit more precise on what price action is telling me, especially if we're in a tight range like this. If I do decide to trade, But this was a beautiful move lower right here. Super nice. I did take the long, right? Took the long after liquidity was taken, after we had the SMT as well. I did expect this to be used as an inversion at the time when I was longing. But once I seen price have this change in the state of delivery, kind of threw me off a little bit. Ended up closing my trade and ended up taking another loss. Realistically, I would still be in this trade. It would just be consolidating right now. But for the most part, we were below the midnight opening price. I seen the model. I went long. The model was here. Went long below the midnight opening price. Targeted something that was in a premium, like these equal highs, these highs here. And I really wanted to target this high here, like I said earlier. But as you can see, price is just consolidating here, and no point in me trying to keep taking trades. I did overtrade today. I definitely did overtrade. So that's something I want to correct, because I want to be focused on, building good habits and getting the satisfaction of building good habits and not making money. That's extremely hard to do. I'm not gonna lie, but it's achievable. So it's okay. We're still in profit. But we'll just call it a day. And look at this. Look at this here. If I didn't close this trade, I would still be in this trade. But it is what it is. I'll just accept it and move on. But like I said, this is my funded account. As you can see, it says Express. Let me show you guys my performance stats. So we down 790 for the week. I'm not trying to get this all back, but we'll see what tomorrow has to offer, and we'll see what maybe Friday has to offer. If I get if price action gives me something decent and I'm able to be a part of it, then I most likely will just end my day here and call it a week. But we'll see, you feel me? And then try to be better for next week and make sure to focus on building good habits and shit like that, because that's really important, bro. That's really, really important. And as you can see, price is about to hit my TP. Price is about to hit my TP. Wow. That's kind of crazy. But it is what it is, bro. And the point of being sad or mad about it just means I was right, and just means I have to lock in on that. So when I took the best entry here, I would want to say would have been here and then held it. You know what I mean? Held it, maybe took a few partials here, took one off there, let it consolidate, move my stops to like break even or something at that point. But as you can see, we just hit my TP, what I was targeting. We just hit it. So nice to see. Good to see where I was wrong at. Good to see where I could be better at. Just be a little bit more patient and stay true to my bias. Stay true to my bias. Just because I see this here, this change in the state, I did notice at the time that on the 5 minute we did tap into this gap here, right? So I'll clear all that off really quick. We got this gap right here, there, and we also had this proportion block right here. This is a proportion block because this is the whole entire order block, and this candle is within this range, so this makes this a proportion block. So I really shouldn't have never did that. Like I said, shouldn't have closed this trade to enter a short. That's like the dumbest shit you can ever do, bro. Learn from me and learn from this situation. Never do that, bro. Never. That's not what trading is. That's kind of almost like gambling. So I'm okay with admitting that. Like, I kind of didn't know what was going on at the time. I mean, I did, but once I seen that this kind of threw me off a little bit, I should have stuck to my bias. Like I said, targeting these equal highs. You know what I mean? This is a poor liquidity market. Usually hunts equal highs and equal lows. So that'll really be it, man. I'm not going to sit here and just talk y'all head off. Just let y'all know, like I said, on a day like today, just make sure I can lower my risk just a little bit more and stick to my bias. You know what I mean? Stick to my bias, be confident in my bias, know what I'm looking at, and just let things play out for what it is. I would not recommend closing trades. You can sometimes, but it just depends. You know what I mean? You don't want to throw your psychology off. Like I said, you want to focus on building good habits, and once you delineate from focus on building good habits, that's when your psychology kind of messes up and you become thrilled a little bit. I know that's how it is for me. So a lot of things to reflect on today. It's okay. we will definitely see what's up tomorrow and maybe Friday. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe. That'll really be it.